Imagine everything around you shaking. Cars, traffic signals, light poles, and buildings. That's what happened in Miyazaki, Japan, when a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck on the 8th of August. Such were the scenes inside an office. People taking shelter under tables, things falling off desks. But it wasn't the earthquake alone that sent alarm bells ringing. It was also what happened immediately after it, because soon after the quake, the Japanese Meteorological Agency issued its first ever Megaquake alert.
Nankai Trough.
Prime Minister Fumio Kishida decided to prioritize earthquake preparedness and ensure everything is in place at home. So he cancelled his plans to attend a summit in Central Asia.
As Prime Minister, I have decided as a precaution to remain in Japan for the period of at least a week that the Japan Meteorological Agency has designated for a reassessment of earthquake preparedness and take all possible measures as a government to respond to the situation and provide information.
So should the first ever Megaquake alert by Japan send the Japanese scrambling for cover? Well, Japan's weather agency says that while the risk of a major quake is higher, it is not a guarantee that it will actually happen. This warning was the first to be issued under a new advisory system implemented after the devastating 2011 earthquake. Remember the 9.1 magnitude earthquake that jolted Japan that year. It triggered a tsunami that swept through Japan's northeast coast. 18,000 people died. After that disaster, a warning system was drawn in an attempt to prevent a disaster of this scale again. But why does Japan experience so many earthquakes? Before we come to that, let's understand why earthquakes happen so frequently in this region. The Earth's surface is broken into big pieces called tectonic plates. These fit together like we see in a jigsaw puzzle. Now, these plates are always slowly moving. As they move in different directions over long periods of time, friction causes energy to build up. When the energy releases, it creates a shock wave. That's an earthquake. Japan is located along the Pacific Ring of Fire. This is the most active earthquake belt in the world. This ring is actually a horseshoe-shaped zone that follows the rim of the Pacific Ocean, where many of the world's earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. This is because four major tectonic plates, the Pacific Plate, the North American Plate, Eurasian Plate, and Philippine Sea Plate, all meet right under Japan. Japan experiences about 1,500 earthquakes in a year. Despite being one of the most seismically active countries in the world, Japan has managed to minimize damage and casualties. Take, for example, the 2023 Turkey earthquake, which killed tens of thousands of people and left millions homeless. In contrast, Japan's 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, one of the largest in history, resulted in significantly fewer casualties thanks to Japan's robust disaster preparedness and mitigation measures. So what makes Japan's approach so effective? Japan has strict building codes. These ensure that new constructions are earthquake resistant. Buildings are designed with earthquakes in mind, using materials like steel and reinforced concrete that can absorb shock. Not just the buildings, public infrastructure like roads, bridges, and utilities are also built to withstand seismic activity, reducing the risk of damage and disruption. Even the trains are designed to automatically stop when an earthquake is detected. This prevents accidents and ensures passenger safety. That's not all. Learning from past disasters, Japan places a strong emphasis on education and training. School children are regularly put through earthquake drills, teaching them what to do during an earthquake. What's more, Japan has a unique alert system. It sends warnings to mobile phones, allowing people to take cover before a quake strikes. Japan also protects its coastline with sea walls and breakwaters. This prevents tsunami damage. Now let's get back to the megaquake warning. Experts are sounding the alarm. There is a 70 to 80% chance of a massive earthquake hitting Japan's Pacific coastline in the next 30 years. This could be catastrophic, affecting a significant part of the coast and putting up to 300,000 lives at risk. But what's causing this potential disaster? The answer lies in the Nankai Trough. This is an area of intense seismic activity along Japan's Pacific coast. History shows us the devastating impact of earthquakes in this region. In 1707, a massive earthquake struck, causing a 600-kilometer rupture along the Nankai Trough, followed by the eruption of Mount Fuji. These massive earthquakes tend to occur every 100 years or so, often in pairs, with the second one striking within 2 years. The last pair happened in 1944 and 1946. The Japanese government estimates that a megaquake could cause trillions of dollars in damage and potentially hundreds of thousands of deaths. That's why it is crucial for Japan to be prepared for this potential disaster. But can earthquakes be predicted? No. To predict an earthquake accurately, we need a clear signal from within the earth that a big one is coming. The catch is that this signal must only occur before large earthquakes, so we don't get false alarms for every small tremor. Right now, there is no such technology to detect these precursors. While earthquakes can't be predicted, Japan's preparedness and mitigation measures make it one of the most earthquake-ready societies in the world. So Japan is bracing for a potential megaquake, and its preparedness might just be the difference between life and death.